Welcome, and thanks for tuning in today for some breaking news. This is the ALTP, and today's news. The grid swarm. If you turned on the mainstream news networks over the last 24 hours, you probably noticed a very specific, carefully worded headline repeating across every major channel. They're telling you that everything is fine. They're telling you that a drone strike on a multi-billion-dollar nuclear facility yesterday was just a localized, minor fire. They keep repeating the phrase, radiation levels are completely normal, like a mantra. Hopping, you will hear those words, breathe a sigh of relief, and change the channel. But we don't look at the headlines here. We look at the facts. Yesterday, on May 17th, 2026, an explosive drone bypassed advanced air defense systems and struck the Barakah nuclear power plant in the United Arab Emirates. It didn't hit the main reactor core. It hit the external electrical infrastructure, knocking out a massive generator and forcing the facility to immediately dump power and switch to emergency backup diesel systems. Now, if that was the only thing that happened this weekend, you could look at it as a localized security failure, a random breach. But at the exact same hour that the smoke started rising from Barakah, the UN's International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed an unprecedented, massive surge of over 160 mystery drones buzzing around multiple other nuclear power stations across entirely different regions. Think about that number. 160 advanced, jam-resistant aircraft simultaneously entering the heavily restricted airspace of secure nuclear facilities on the exact same weekend. This is not a coincidence. This is not a random series of accidents by hobbyists. You're looking at a live, highly synchronized global probe against energy infrastructure. And while the media wants you focused on the word radiation, they are completely ignoring the word grid. Let's look at the facts, because we don't ask you to blindly trust anything we say. You can look these records up yourself. The Barakah facility isn't just some old power plant. It is a $20 billion state-of-the-art fortress. It supplies nearly 25% of the entire region's electricity. It is packed with military-grade radar, electronic jamming equipment, and surface-to-air defense nets. How does a single commercial drone float right through a multi-billion-dollar defense net and precisely hit an external generator? It doesn't. Not unless the electronic signatures of that drone were designed to exploit a specific, systemic flaw in modern automated defense grids. Now look at the European theater from this weekend. The UN reports confirm drone swarms hovering directly over the South Ukraine and Rivne nuclear facilities. The official reports say these drones are undetected by standard radar and are only being spotted by ground security guards using thermal optics at night. Why are they there? They aren't dropping bombs. If you wanted to destroy the facility, you would drop a payload. They are doing something much more dangerous. They are mapping the perimeter. They are testing the response times of the automated grid defenses. They are flying patterns around the cooling towers and the primary transformers to see exactly how the facility reacts when its automated systems are triggered. The media keeps telling you that the power grids are safe because backup diesel generators kicked on immediately. But think about the plain English reality of that statement. A backup generator is a temporary patch. It relies on a finite supply of fuel. If you can force a critical infrastructure hub onto backup fuel, you have effectively started a countdown clock on that facility's survival. You didn't have to melt the core. You just had to choke its connection to the outside world. So why is the mainstream narrative working so hard to downplay a coordinated global airspace breach? Why are they using identical language across 5 different news networks? Because this follows the exact same managed panic blueprint we saw with the cruise ship outbreak and the shipping surcharges. The goal isn't immediate destruction. The goal is to establish a permanent state of vulnerability. If the public realizes that the centralized energy grid can be probed, choked, or shut down by low-cost automated technology at any moment, the illusion of centralized security shatters. People start demanding local energy independence. They start moving off the smart grid. But if the authorities can control the narrative, if they can blame it on anonymous, untraceable mystery drones, while reassuring you that the government is monitoring the situation. They can use the threat to justify massive new security mandates. They can implement permanent surveillance zones around every utility hub in your zip code. They can tell you that for your own safety, the power grid needs to be fully automated, heavily regulated, and monitored by international biosecurity and infrastructure cartels. This is the ultimate bottleneck. They use a real, terrifying event to test the perimeter defenses, wait for the public anxiety to rise, and then offer a solution that requires you to give up even more control over your local utility systems. They aren't trying to fix the vulnerability. They are using the vulnerability to lock in the next layer of the control grid. We want to be very clear about something. We aren't tracking your personal phone data. We aren't scanning your coordinates or telling you that a blackout is coming to your house tomorrow morning. We are doing exactly what the ALTP was set up to do. Analyzing the unedited, official logs that are hiding in plain sight while the major networks distract you with talking heads and political theater. The drone swarm this weekend proved that the centralized infrastructure is incredibly fragile. The switch can be tested, and the switch can be thrown. Stop listening to the corporate scripts and start looking at the logistics. Wake up before the lights go out. Thanks for walking through this news story with us. If you like this story and want to follow us for more, you can follow us on Facebook at the ALTP and X at the _ALTP with 2 E's, and on Instagram at the _ALTP. This has been brought to you by the American Liberty and Transparency Project. God's truth, our liberty, our republic. Until the next one, thanks.